back. So thank you very much, John Bon Jovi.
The recognition factor, is there. I mean, not only with, the indie musicians that we do feature here. Today's Fair is a good example of that. Michaela has been with us for many years. Nikki Chris has been with us for many years. David Martinez has been with us for many years. But we also get people like Charlie Daniels, who's been on with us about 3 or 4 times now. We've had Tommy James of the Shondells on with us a couple of times. Joe Bonsall of the Oak Ridge Boys has been on with us several times. And these guys keep coming back to us because they recognize what we're doing. And not only that, not only do they just take their time out to talk to us, but they also spread the word amongst some of these other established musicians and producers that are in the market. And I'm pretty sure from the conversations that we've had that some of those conversations that they have had have probably led to a break or two for some of the people that we've featured on this show.
I would not be at all surprised, and that is exactly what we hope to accomplish. So thank you very much, folks. Check out Independent Tone Awards. Send us your considerations, the artist you'd like to see considered. We'd like to consider some more new music, and we have an artist standing by to talk to you right now, and she'll be with us in just about, 3.5 or 4 minutes right after we play this song. It's called Devil You Know. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mikalyn Hay.
Your troubled heart bleeds like a river. It's rushing towards fields painted greener. It doesn't see the demons behind, praying you're getting close to the line, so they can get their hands on love and trade it off for silver.
There you have it. The Devil You Know, Mikalyn Hay from Ontario, Canada. And Zach Werner is a Canadian artist, producer, and entertainment lawyer, as well as manager, has described her as an old soul and world-weary, yet so young and fresh. And he adds that she comes out every song with a deep sense of herself as an artist, but yet an alternative view of what it is, cool and classic in the same breath. I think you're really going to love her music. I know I did, and I'm going to really enjoy being able to chat with her right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, pull up a chair and let's talk with Mikalyn Hay. Hello, Mikalyn.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you with us. And I love your music. As a matter of fact, 99 times out of 100, anybody who's a guest on the show, I've heard their music and said, we've got to have this person on the show. And the same is very true of you. You have you're not only good, you're not only talented and stylistic, you have a unique sound. You have a sound that, well, it pervades through your music, and I think that as you grow in being known, it's going to identify you because it is singular. It's your sound, and that's something.
Means a lot.
Well, and so early in your career, I am really impressed. You've definitely worked at it. Now you're still I don't know if I'm letting secrets out or anything, but you're still in school, right?
Yeah, I just turned 16 last week.
Amazing. No, but I wasn't going to ask you your specific age, but that's cool. And I doubt if anybody who's listening would realize that you were only 16 years old. But tremendous talent, and really impressed with it. Want to get a little bit of your background. I know John Bon Jovial wants to jump in here. John?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Mikalyn, welcome. We're thrilled that you're with us.
Thank you.
But, oh, well, sure. No, thank you for being with us. It really is. We're quite honored to have your presence on the show today. But listening to the music that you've done, it has quite an ethereal feel to it. And the style of the music, and I haven't heard anything quite like that in many years. It kind of reminded me back in the old days. And, of course, this is before you were a twinkle in your mom and dad's eye, but back in the late 80s in Los Angeles, KMET switched from rock and roll to what they called New Age and played a lot of that style of music, and they were very successful with it. And I enjoyed it, and I know that I really enjoyed listening to your music. And so I guess the first question that I have for you is, who thought of the style? Who came up with this technique that you use to give you the sound that you have?
I started writing when I was pretty young, so I'd say that I kind of developed a style based on a lot of different influences. Like my dad, I grew up listening to Tears for Fears, and then also pop radio and Coldplay and just a bunch of really different artists. So I think that when I was starting to learn how to write, I took influence from a bunch of different genres, and it kind of came together into what I'm doing now and what I'm still trying to figure out and kind of make my own. So the producer that I worked with, Murray Daigle, he also really helped me kind of hone in on that style and figure out kind of what directions to go. So he produced the song that you just played. And working with him has been super great, too, because I'm used to just writing on the piano, so he was really able to help me bring that to life, kind of.
Well, your music sounds beyond your years, and so if you're only 16 now, I'm really wondering, what are you going to be doing in 10 years when you're 26 years old, because you've got such a mature sound now.
Really?
What's going to happen in 10 years? I think you've got something, you've got a base that you can really work on there, kiddo.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. Hopefully in 10 years I'll be doing a good living from music and traveling and touring. That's the goal.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about how you got to where you are now. You said that you started writing at a very early age, which pardon me, I'm not trying to sound sarcastic, but that kind of goes without saying since you're still at a very early age as far as careers are concerned. I mean, 16 is not exactly an old timer, but how did you? Obviously somewhere along the line you got an interest in music and singing. How did you get there and develop to where you are today?
Yeah, the funny thing about that is when I look back, I don't even remember specifically, like I don't remember ever not wanting to do music or not wanting to sing. Like I started playing the piano when I was 4, so that's when I started taking like music lessons. But before that, I always loved singing, and I remember always being like, oh, I want to be a singer, and my parents were like, okay, yeah, sure you do, like whatever, you'll grow out of that by the time you're 6. I still wanted to be a singer. Started writing my own stupid songs. Like I remember I have one called like Lollipop Land and another called like Horses. But that's when I started kind of writing. And I think the thing is too with writing, it's helped me a lot and helped me kind of figure out my goals and stuff like that, because I love reading and I love writing, and like the ability to kind of make stories or sayings or things that I imagined into songs and music, which is like the thing I love the most. It's been pretty cool. So I think it just kind of, it's always felt natural, and my family's pretty musical. They've never like discouraged it or anything, but yeah.
That's cool.
So
that's very important, the fact that you get the support at home. But it gave me a thought flashed through my mind as you were describing your early songwriting. I was wondering, I know a lot of artists and writers especially do this. They write even before they actually become involved in the art itself. And I was just thinking, wouldn't that be neat to take an artist and have that artist do an album after they get established and people know who they are, have them do an album of some of the songs they wrote way back when, before they actually became a singer or performing artist, and just do an album of those original notes, the songs that you created way back when. That would be interesting, don't you think?
That'd be so awesome. I would listen to all of those of like artists that are famous now. That'd be sick. That'd be so cool.
Wouldn't it? Yeah. Hey, listen, I will tell you this now. No claims on anything you do or anything, but all I ask is, if you ever decide to do that, you come back and let us hear the album.
And I'll credit you, don't worry.
Not worried about that. I just think it's such a neat idea. As a matter of fact, if I were a producer, I would, like Rick Rubin goes around and doing all the major artists. If I was doing something like that, producing, I think I would approach every artist I could get my hands on and say, why don't you do this album of what you did as a kid before you became a star? Be an interesting concept.
Yeah, well, that's like a good idea too, because a lot of artists are like really attached to and like really proud of their old stuff, but they just don't put it out because it's not really album material. But I feel like that would be a great idea, because lots of people would love to do it. They just don't like kind of have the courage to, in a way.
Well, maybe somebody will come along and do that one of these days. Where are you going next with your career, Mikalyn?
Hopefully up. I have a EP release that's going to come out on May 31st with a partner of mine, Chris, and he is 16 as well. He's a producer. And we wrote a 6-song EP that's going to be coming out soon, and our first single comes out Friday, so that's the more immediate things. And, yeah, that's what I'm up to. And
the single that you've got coming out is what?
It's called, well, it's not released yet, so this is special news, but it's called Prove It, and it's coming out this Friday. So nobody's heard it before.
Fantastic, and we wanted to give you a chance to get a plug in for that. So where can they find you, your music, and get information on picking up your new release?
You can find me on social media at Mikalyn Hay, and my website is also www.mikalyn.ca. And so I just released an album, so I have my own singles and stuff like that have just been released, and I'm pretty sure you're going to hear one of those next. And then in terms of my new EP, you can either find it at any of my social medias again, because I'll be promoting it. Mikalyn Hay is all of my social medias, or Chris's social media, and he goes by Extro, so his Instagram is extro_music, as well as all of his other social medias.
Awesome, and I'm going to express the spelling of your name, because it is a bit unusual for those of you who are looking to find Mikalyn online. It's M as in Michael, I-K-A-L-Y-N, Mikalyn. Last name Hay, as in The hay is in the barn. I don't know. It's a natural for the business because you're going to get called Hey You a lot of times until people get to know who you are. But thank you so
it already happens. I always get Hey Mikalyn Hay all the time.
Yeah, I can imagine. You've heard that for a long time. Listen, Mikalyn, we are so happy that you came by and spent some time with us, sharing your music, news of what you got coming.